Welcome to the Papa Rockstars podcast with Anya Bohm, where we talk about all things paparazzi, team training, suggestions, interviews with elite leaders, and more, all to help you grow and explode your paparazzi accessories business to rock star success.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Papa Rockstars podcast. I am Anya Bohm, and I'm your show host. Today, I'm excited to welcome Shanae Fant to the call. But before we jump into her interview, don't forget to head on over to paparockstars.com/Shanae, and there you're going to find all the call notes for today. You can listen again, share it with your friends, and even grab a couple special images that we'll have for today's call. So again, that website is paparockstars.com/Shanae. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Shanae before we have her jump in here. Shanae is a wife, a mother, a sister, and an educator. She still works full-time and as an administrator and is very active in her church, her kids' PTA groups, and her sorority. She says if she can juggle all these plates, anybody can do what she does. Shanae is a Maven A-lister, and she's reached Crown Club 25. She is currently Life of the Party Silver and going for gold. Shanae also has 2 blood sisters and her mom on her team, which just proves that, number one, paparazzi is a family business, and number 2, if anybody can do what we do, everybody can do it. So, Shanae, did I leave anything out?
No, you hit the nail right on the head. And also, just wanted to mention that I'm also active in my alumni with my school, and I spend a lot of time with my family and friends as well. So my job is to kind of balance it all, and I'm hoping I'm doing a good job at it.
That's perfect. From what I can see, you're doing great. So, well, let's go ahead and jump into today's interview question. Shanae, how did you get started with paparazzi?
I got started with paparazzi in August of 2015 when a good friend of mine, Carla Neal, told me that she was into this business. She had just gotten started, and her excitement and enthusiasm for the business just kind of sparked my interest. I had never seen the jewelry. I had never purchased it, never worn it, but it was just through her energy that I knew that I wanted to do something as well. To be honest, I really thought that I would just join to get a discount on the jewelry for myself, but once I started, it just became a very empowering entity, not just selling the jewelry, but just the positivity of the other people involved, and my business just grew from the beginning.
Oh, how exciting. You hadn't even seen the jewelry. You just went off of Carla's good enthusiasm and her positive energy, and you just jumped right in.
Yes, Carla and I have been friends for years, and she's actually a businesswoman. She's done different businesses before, and I trust her judgment. So if it was something that she was getting into, and I knew that she knows how to really build an empire and an enterprise, if she could do it, I said, oh, yeah, I'll just follow your lead.
Now, what is your why? Why do you do paparazzi?
Really, I do paparazzi for my family. I have 3 sons. They are working hard in school, and that's their only job. I never want them to have to worry about anything that finances can actually help them get. My husband works very hard. He has always supported our family. And so because of such a deep-rooted, solid foundation that we have, I just can't help but work hard in this business just to kind of secure more financial freedom for our family. I love it. I also do paparazzi for my team. The last 2.5 years, I've grown my team, and most of the people, particularly the people who I've directly sponsored, I can honestly say I know them personally, whether they're friends from church, friends from college, Lincoln University of Pennsylvania, the first historically black college, by the way, sorority sisters, work colleagues. Like, we actually have relationships. So the reason why I actually grind so hard is because I want to constantly let them know that it's possible, and the more we do together, the more everybody benefits.
Now, from when you first joined paparazzi till now, I'm assuming your why has changed just because your team has changed and you've changed as a person. How has that changed, do you think?
I think my why has changed because I believe emphatically, to whom much is given, much is required. So because of the responsibility that I have as a team leader, and just the responsibility that I have of the onlookers, even the naysayers, my why has changed. I cannot do anything less than, exceed expectations because I have a duty to keep the lineage going, to keep the name going, to keep being great, because there are people who haven't joined yet because they're still watching, and people who haven't joined some of my team members yet because they're still watching. So my why is to continue to reach high heights so that their teams will continue to grow based off of the successes that we're all having.
I love what you said there, because you have reached Maven A-lister in paparazzi, and you could very easily just sit back and collect some checks, sell a little bit of jewelry, but no, you're leading from the front. You are being an example to the people on your team and to people that are yet to join your team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're going to switch gears just a little bit right here to your worst paparazzi moment. Now, the people that are just listening for the first time, they might not understand what this question is about, so let me just highlight this really quick. We're not here to badmouth paparazzi. We're here to talk about that moment when you felt beat down, when you felt like it was a make-it-or-break-it decision where you could throw in the towel or you could pick yourself up and keep on going. So, Shanae, take us to that moment in time that was your worst moment with paparazzi.
I would like to say that my worst moment happened repeatedly last year when I was trying to win the Rock the Runway contest. I was really trying to win the necklace, and not just for boastful reasons, but it was something that I believed was attainable, and I worked really hard. And anybody who was around that time, if you were watching the emails that came out or would come out once a week, you would see that my name was, if not the first, the second, or sometimes it would, drop down to the third. But all month long, it would seem that I was at the top of the list, and my points were so high. And then repeatedly every month when it came out the 10th, and, that's a long time. The month would end either the 30th or the 31st, and then we had to wait until the 10th for them to announce who actually won the necklace, the two people who won the necklaces for that month. And it happened in February, March, April. I didn't win. That was like a low blow. It kind of made me sad. It started to make me question whether I was working the business or working the contest correctly. I didn't know what to do. I just was thinking, wow, this might not be for me. It was actually like very daunting. And fortunately, because of the fact that I was at the top of the list throughout the month, even though I didn't win, ultimately the points that I had accumulated allowed me to be one of the two winners of the highest points over the contest. So even though it is a story where I'm talking about my worst memory, it did end in a positive note when I was able to actually earn a necklace named after me.
I can only imagine, though, the 10th of every month you're sitting there and you pull up that email and you're just waiting to see your name. You're so hopeful. And every single month you're like, oh, missed it again. Like total balloon deflation. And then you got to pick yourself up and try again for that next month. So, yeah, I'm there with you. I could feel that. What is the lesson you want us to learn from your worst moment?
You know what? It's God's timing. It's not our timing. It's not for us to run the ship or to be the captain of the ship certain times. We have to actually be the co-pilot. And it let me know that patience is a virtue. It let me know that, honestly, if I didn't win the necklace, I would have still been okay. If I didn't win the necklace, I would still be a dope leader and an amazing consultant. Through the contest, I worked really hard to grow my team and get new personally sponsored consultants on my team. I worked really hard to get my team registered to go to convention, and I worked really hard to rank up so that I can get those points. All of these are phenomenal business building techniques that actually gave me good leverage, just leadership-wise and business building-wise. So the reality is that if there's a contest in paparazzi that's out, gun for the contest, because if you don't win, you still win because you are doing wonderful things to help build and solidly give a foundation for your business.
Yeah, those steps that you're taking to try and win the contest is better than what you were doing before, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, Shanae, what is a habit you have that contributes to your success?
This might be kind of a weird response, but just positivity. That's my habit. I'm always going to look for the good in every situation, the good in every person. Just being positive. There's so many things and ways that we can be negative and be pessimistic, and I just try not to do those things, period. because there's no good that can come out of that. I just try my best to sow, seeds of delight and be positive, and to show people that even through adversity, you can actually win. That's just one of my habits, period, to look for the bright side in any situation and be encouraging to people, because I know that some people do have, daunting or disheartening moments. So if I can find a way to help them through that, that's just a habit that I have.
I love both of those, positivity and being encouraging, because, it's easy to look on the gloomy side of things. It's easy to get, not as motivated. It's really hard to stay positive sometimes and to look for that happy things, especially in difficult moments, and find the blessings. So I think that is an amazing habit. What advice would you give to a brand new paparazzi consultant just starting out in their business?
Work your butt off. Don't be optimistic. I'm going to actually use the word of my sister, Shalon, and just believe. Believe that this business can be whatever it is you want it to be, and it can do whatever it is you want to do. Invest in your business, period. You have to invest. When you get this opportunity, run for the hills. Keep running. Don't stop. Bulk up your inventory. Get a very diverse jewelry selection and sell your jewelry. Any problem that you're having in your business can be solved by selling your jewelry. If you don't have money, sell your jewelry. If you feel like you haven't signed any new consultants, sell your jewelry. People will see you selling your jewelry, and they will believe based off of how much you believe. So that's my main thing. Invest in your business, sell your jewelry, brand yourself, be likable, be positive, speak to people, grow your team. But that's just my major advice. Once you become a business owner, regardless of the kit that you select, $99, $299, $499, you're a business owner. And run this business like a business, and it will give you business return.
I love the word that you said there, running, because to me, when you're starting out running, it's always the most difficult. Like, that is always when you have to exert the most energy, and you watch those runners like in the Olympics trying to get going, and it's so difficult. But once they hit their stride, once they get that momentum going, it's a lot easier to keep going, right? So that's the visual that I'm getting here when you're talking, is that running, how, especially when you're first starting out, it is going to be difficult. You got to get up and you got to keep going. And then once you kind of get into your stride, things are going to get a little bit easier, but you still got to keep that momentum going. Otherwise, you're going to be back to that starting out again. It's no fun.
Absolutely.
If you could suggest one thing to a consultant who is feeling kind of stuck in their business, what would you tell them to do?
I would tell them to get a network in paparazzi. It's great to have a business network, but find like the epicenter of friendship. This is network marketing, but we need to network within paparazzi as well, whether you choose to call that person an accountability partner or just a friend. Because sometimes if you're not in paparazzi, you don't understand what goes on in paparazzi. So it takes another consultant to be able to actually understand what you're going through and bounce ideas off of this person. And iron sharpens iron. So this person should be somebody who can add to you. I'm not talking about somebody who you're going to have a great session with, somebody who wants to bring milk and cookies to your pity party. Not that. If you're feeling stuck, you find somebody in this business who has something to add to you. Bounce some ideas off of it. And when in doubt, sell your jewelry. If you're stuck, sell your jewelry. If your jewelry isn't selling, make sure that you get some popping pieces, whether it's Life of the Party, whether it's Fashion Fix, whether there's some new releases. Go ahead and mix some flavor, some fire inventory in what you already have, and go out and sell your jewelry. Nothing makes me feel better than selling jewelry and feeling that makes you feel good about yourself when you move some inventory, when you get some cash in hand because you've actually sold your jewelry. That's how you can get out of that stuck spot. When you're stuck, get up and move. Period. Do a vending event, do a home party, go on Facebook Live, but don't stay there. And if the person who you decide to confide in and you work this network with isn't giving you what you need, there's nothing wrong with about face and shifting and finding somebody else to speak to. That's my biggest advice. If you're stuck, move.
I love two things that you said there. If you're stuck, move, because number one, something's going to change if you move. Number two, there's something about physically moving that moves that negative energy and that, I don't know, that junk that you got maybe going on in your brain, like, oh, I can't do this, oh, nothing's working. But if you get up and physically move to go sell your jewelry, then there's something about that energy that just shifts, and it changes all of that. And then the second thing I love that you said was the networking within Paparazzi. The sisterhood that I found in Paparazzi is unlike anything else. And you have a sorority, so you probably have seen that kind of a sisterhood other places. But with Paparazzi, it's truly like a family. There's people on other teams that are cheering for me, that message me throughout the month. There's people that I check in with. There's people that celebrate with me that frankly are not really in competition, but I mean, we're out there selling the same product. So with other companies, you don't have that cheering for each other that I found here with Paparazzi, and I just love that. So definitely network with Paparazzi and find that sisterhood for yourself. Shanae, what is a quote that inspires you?
Wow. Okay. So I have a couple that I want to say. So first, let me just say that I have the most ridiculously fantastic team in the entire company, and I boast about that. I believe that sincerely. Our team is team trendsetters. Our trendsetters are really setting trends. And one of the sayings that we have on our team is that we win because that's what winners do. So we have no other choice but to win, because you can't be a winner if you're not winning. And then the other thing that we say is that we win on purpose. And so because we win on purpose, we don't happen upon success. We work hard for success, and we seek success, and we adjust along the way if success is not happening. So those are two things that I would say. We win on purpose, and we win because that's what winners do. But the other quote, which is more than a quote, it's actually a prayer, is the serenity prayer. And it just simply says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And that guides me, not just in Paparazzi, but in life. And I assess every situation like that. I look at it. Can I change this? I can't change it. I just cannot get stressed about something that I cannot change. And if it's something that I can change, and I recognize that change will be to the betterment of not just myself, but to everybody, I have to be courageous enough to step up and change it. But I have to also be wise enough to know the difference. You can't work towards something that's steadfastly unmovable. It can't change. So that's just my goal. And also just praying to God that he gives me serenity and peace while I'm trying to seek that knowledge about whether or not I can make a difference, or whether I have to fall back because I can't.
I love hearing how you bring your faith into your business. I think that is a crucial step in your success. That's something that's guided you and something that's definitely helped you along the way. But I love hearing that it's not like a separation of church and state. It's all incorporated together. Mm-hmm. So what is a book you'd say is a must-read, and why?
You know what? I'm not even going to give you any of the leadership books, because I know that's pretty cliche. I'm going to give you a novel, and I would say Lorraine Hansberry's A Raisin in the Sun. And I would say that because there's so many lessons and morals and just different themes present in that text that could actually be parables for life. And above all, it's just about perseverance and overcoming adversity. It actually is a play that I used to teach. I was an educator and taught in the classroom for 15 years. I taught high school English. And I loved the units when we talked about A Raisin in the Sun, because it's a play off of the actual, when I say play, not as in a stage play, but it's a play off of the poem by Langston Hughes about what happens to a raisin in the sun. And so it's just metaphorically one of the plays that I think about all the time. So if you haven't read it, I would suggest that you get it. It's a very easy read. Don't take the easy way out and watch the movie, because although the movie with Danny Glover is probably just about spot on, it's nothing like actually reading. So I would suggest everybody read A Raisin in the Sun by Lorraine Hansberry.
I'll have to add that to my list. Awesome.
Please do.
So Last question, Shanae. Here on the Papa Rock Stars podcast, we like to do a weekly call challenge. So what is one thing you're going to challenge the listeners to do in the next 7 days to take action in their paparazzi businesses?
Okay. I would say I want you to create a business plan. Oftentimes as leaders, as uplines, and even on the winner's circle, we talk about goals. And we talk about goals and we talk about setting goals. And so because of that, some people shy away from setting goals because they feel like transparently, like now I'm a subordinate. And we start this business to be independent business owners. We want to be CEOs of our own company, of our own businesses, so then to turn around and maybe submit goals to our upline seems to be off-putting to people. And I'm not putting words in other people's mouths, but I'm trying to figure out why some people don't submit goals. So my challenge to you all, if you're listening, is to create a business plan over the next week. And part of this business plan, before you give me any of the steps that you're going to take, I want you to give me the end result. What is it that you want to accomplish in your business? How many pieces of jewelry do you want to sell? Like, as a business owner, what is your goal? Because the reality is that a business plan is the same thing as goals, but I think that the term business plan might be a little bit more comfortable and friendly for people. But create a business plan. What is it that you want paparazzi to be able to help you achieve in your life, in your family? Write it down, whether it's to pay your mortgage, to buy groceries for your house, to pay tuition, whatever it is. Start with the end. In the classroom, when we're planning lesson plans, we have this term called begin with the end in mind. So if I know that I want my students to be able to determine tone after reading a passage, I know that all of the activities that we do during the week will help them identify tone when they read it, and actually also help them write for a specific tone. If I want you to write with an urgent tone, we're going to go over urgent vocabulary words, etc. Do those things in your business. If you create a business plan, determine where you want to end up, and write down some steps to get you there, I promise you the likelihood that you're going to meet that desired goal is going to increase exponentially.
A quote that I really like says, plan your work and then work your plan. And I think that's exactly what you're talking about here. Plan where you want to be and then work it and get there.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, Shanae, I have sure enjoyed getting to know you and talking to you today. You are going to be one of our most popular podcasts. I can feel it already.
That makes me happy.
Okay, everybody, thanks again for tuning into today's show. Don't forget to head on over to paparockstars.com/Shanae to keep the party going. Thanks, and have a rockin' week. Bye-bye.